All right, I'm on hole number 7 of the big game 9-hole cup. Let's go check it out. I have 3 practice strokes left. I have 3 holes. I had 9 practice strokes to start off with, so we get 1 shot on each hole. Got to figure it out. All right. Now, there are several ways that you can go at this hole, and I've seen several people. You can go at it from over here, and for the longest time, I went at it from over here. And let's look at where the new pin placement's at. Hold on, if I can get that to go away. So, the old pin placement being right here where you can do this rough bump, and you're really close to it. Now we're out here in the middle. I think we can still do the rough bump and get up there to it. So the rough bump, this is one of those areas that when this hole first came out, I swear when they go through and they tweak some of these holes and they modify them or they do a change like this, and just over time, when this hole, I should go back in my video collection and look at this hole the very first time it ever came out that I played it. This little green patch down here was like that big. It was super narrow. I mean, super narrow. Like we didn't have the center ball guide where it's splitting the ring and it's telling us that this is half a ring and this is half a ring, and then we've got a full ring on the other side of that. We didn't have that shit before. So this little area right here was barely the half part in the middle. I mean, I don't know that even in, counting from one side to the other, that would be like a ring, but I don't even think it was that big. It was like half of that. It was really narrow. But over time, golfers have gone out at nighttime with blowers and blown the sand back, and then the grass has grown in, and blown the sand back and the grass has grown in, and now we have a much wider landing area down here than what we had when this hole originally came out. But looking at where the pin is here, we are going to have to, we've been able to work into the thicker spot, so we need those golfers to come out and start blowing the sand off over here, and over time this will get a little bit wider so that we can have a little bit more straight up. So if we're over in this area, we may have to put a little of this spin on it. We can still use this. The other ways that you can go out, I've seen people go at it from over on this side right here, and this is one of those things where this is like this, and you're hitting off of it. So if you're one blade of grass high, the ball is going to go off to the left. And if you're one blade of grass low, the ball is going to go off to the right. Now, obviously, the more you are to the left or the right, the more it's going to do this movement. So you could do everything right, make your wind adjustment, and be just a little teeny bit off, and the ball is going to go, it's going to look drastically off on the other side. I don't like hitting off of hills like this, especially when you're hitting off of a hill and you're trying to get it to go in this direction, or even if you were trying to get it to go in this direction. Hitting off of a hill like this is really difficult because everything's got to be perfect. And you can hit it and it'll go in, and the next time you do the same shit and it doesn't go in. And so it's difficult. This is the same thing right here. This is this little hill. And it's easy because I've hit off of this area right here and then trying to bring it around, and you're just barely clipping this and getting the rollout on the green. And it's really tricky because you can easily get caught up in this. This is one of those holes that if you're comfortable with rough bumps, this is a good area to do it. And this sand transition is such that it doesn't really distort the rings. You just have to make a good wind adjustment. I think traditionally we've done a +10 on it. And that's what Tommy says to do, so we got to do that. And I'm going to take a navigator. Let's cut the wind down as much as we can. Why not? Why not? We'll see what kind of distance we can get with that. I think that should be fine. Take a Grizz. Got a Goliath just in case I need it. What in the hell is the deal? Why is it getting caught? All right, 1.1. Do some quick math here. All right, practice. Practice. What's sad is I remember when all these holes came out. So where am I at in my club? There's max. Min's right there. There's mid. I'm eking towards max. We'll still be able to be in the fat part of the maybe one backspin. 3.5, 3.85 rings divided by 0.9 is 4.27 rings. It's 4 1/4. Oh, I hit it great to the left. Be pretty close on a perfect. I actually think that spot might be, the other spot was so damn close to the front. This is a very hole-in-oneable hole. We've got and I think where they've moved the pin, it's actually beneficial to us because we can get a little bit more rollout. And before it was like the bare minimum 2.5 squares in front of the fringe. And so sometimes when it would bounce out before it would roll out, it might, that's one of the reasons I don't like that. Those shots of hitting over to the other side, you've got to get your second bounce so close to the fringe in order to woe up before you get to the hole, that if there's any hole out there that just like really maybe the safest shot that you can do is the rough bump, this is one of those holes. And you can see where it didn't distort the rings when you were coming, when I was making that wind adjustment. So it's a pretty safe area to do a rough bump. And it's widened out there. I had plenty of room. Shit, I had 2 rings with that club. So you didn't have to push the limit. I could have put a little teeny bit more topspin on it, and or backspin on it, and actually, or taken off some of the spin that I put on it so that I could have moved a little bit deeper into the rough. But yeah, that pin placement's going to work really fine. So you can see how close it was before. We're what, 1, 2.5, maybe 3 into it. So when you did this, that first bounce where it would come out and hit, sometimes it would bounce out a little hard. And so you, even if you had everything right, it'd be a little too fast, or it could bounce out a little slow and then it'd end up a little short. So where we're at here, it gives the ball an opportunity to bounce out and then get its run and then release and just roll out to the cup. So this actually, I think several of the holes I've seen so far in this course with these new pin placements, I think the hole that I just played, if you haven't watched that video, for hole number 6, is the same way, where the spots are actually a little bit better, I think, than where they were before. If I was the one making these holes, I can guarantee you that these holes, these new pin placements, would be in tougher spots. Look at the movement that's on the green over here. This is a great spot, and it would open it up where we could still do a rough bump to try and get to that spot, but it would open up a lot more people would be taking this shot trying to get over there. Now, I'm sure that when they did this, they put it in different spots and tried it out to see like what your angles are, because it kind of takes this side out, where this pin placement, you could hit from here, or you could hit from here, or you can do the rough bump. So you still got all 3 shots. All right, there you have it. That was hole number 7 of the big game 9-hole cup. Thanks for watching.